Good evening. Florida's Turnpike Enterprise welcomes you to the public hearing for the Turnpike widening from south of Kissimmee Park Road to US 192 PD&E study with financial project identification number 441224-1. I would like to formally open the public hearing. Today is Tuesday, November 10th, 2020, and the time is approximately 6 o'clock p.m. My name is Jasmine Haywood. I'm the Turnpike Project Manager for the PD&E study and will be moderating this public hearing from Turnpike headquarters. Don Hammock, the Consultant Project Manager from Dewberry Engineers, is overseeing the in-person location at the Osceola Heritage Parks Event Center in Kissimmee, Florida. We are both being supported by representatives of Turnpike and Dewberry staff. At this time, we would like to recognize all federal, state, county, or city officials who are present with us tonight, either online or in person. Online, we have Mayor Nathan Blackwell, Deputy Mayor Lynette Matheny, Council Member Dave Askew, all with City of St. Cloud, and NEPA Project Manager Roshana White. Don, are there any officials at your location?
No, Justin.
Thank you, Don. We will now watch the narrated public hearing presentation.
Florida's Turnpike Enterprise welcomes you to the public hearing for Florida's Turnpike widening from south of Kissimmee Park Road to US 192 Project Development and Environment, or PD&E study. The proposed improvements involve widening Turnpike from south of Kissimmee Park Road to US 192, modifications to the existing Kissimmee Park Road and US 192 interchanges, as well as new interchanges and access modifications. This hearing is being held to provide you with the opportunity to comment on this project. This hearing is being conducted in a hybrid format to provide multiple opportunities for the public to receive information and provide input. This approach uses both a virtual and a face-to-face component. There is no cost to the public to participate in the hearing. We will follow the agenda shown on this slide, starting first with the purpose of the public hearing and how you can comment and ask questions. We will then review the preferred project alternative and open the public comment period. The purpose of this public hearing is to share information with the general public about the proposed improvement, its conceptual design, all alternatives under study, and the potential beneficial and adverse social, economic, and environmental impacts upon the community. The public hearing also serves as an official forum, providing an opportunity for members of the public to express their opinions regarding the project. Public participation is encouraged and solicited without regard to race, color, national origin, age, sex, religion, disability, or family status. There have been various opportunities for the public to provide input on this project. An August 6, 2019 public information meeting was one such opportunity where 91 people attended and 57 written comments were submitted and addressed. In advance of this public hearing, interested persons were encouraged to review project information and to contact the project manager with comments and questions. We continue to encourage public input to help us make this important decision. You can submit written comments at the project website, turnpikestcloud.com. If at the in-person location, you can complete a printed comment form. You can email the project manager directly. And lastly, you can mail in your written comments. The project manager's contact information will be spelled out for the benefit of our listen-only participants towards the end of the presentation. It is also available on the hearing notification that you may have received by mail. You can also make verbal comments. Virtual participants that requested to speak when registering will be called upon during the public comment period. If attending in person, you can fill out a request to speak card to comment at the podium during the public comment period. There is also a court reporter at the in-person location to whom you can provide your comments directly. Lastly, you can call the project manager at 407-264-3298 to provide verbal comments during normal business hours after the public hearing. Every comment method carries equal weight. While comments and questions will be accepted at any time, those submitted by November 30th, 20 calendar days after the public hearing, will become part of the study's public hearing record. We will respond to all comments and questions in writing at a later date. This public hearing is being recorded, and a verbatim transcript will be made of all oral proceedings. The public hearing video will be posted to the project website, turnpikestcloud.com, in the video section by Thursday, November 12th. A link to the video will also be provided by email to all persons that registered. If you happen to experience technical issues during the meeting, please send an email to tpk.state.fl.us to report it. Turnpike staff will do their best to assist you. This public hearing was advertised consistent with federal and state requirements as shown on this slide. Persons wishing to express their concerns about Title VI may do so by contacting either the Florida's Turnpike Enterprise or the Tallahassee office of the Florida Department of Transportation. This contact information is shown here on a sign displayed at the in-person location and on the project website. The project involved coordination with Osceola County, the City of St. Cloud, Metro Plan Orlando, affected property owners, and various state and federal regulatory agencies. This public hearing was advertised in the Florida Administrative Register, FDOT's Public Notices website, Orlando Sentinel, El Sentinel, El Osceola Star, and the Osceola News Gazette. In addition, adjacent property owners, interested individuals, elected and appointed officials, Native American tribes, and government agencies were notified about tonight's public hearing. Draft project documents are available for viewing until November 30, 2020 at the Veterans Memorial St. Cloud Library, located at 810 13th Street in St. Cloud, Florida. Project documents are also available on the project website at turnpikestcloud.com. The limits of this PD&E study are from south of Kissimmee Park Road to US 192 in Osceola County. The project is approximately 4 miles long and is focused on 3 areas: the Turnpike Main Line, the Kissimmee Park Road partial interchange, and the US 192 partial interchange. The purpose and need for a project provides the basis for developing, considering, evaluating, and eliminating project alternatives. The project purpose and need are to enhance safety, address forecasted year 2045 traffic needs, improve accessibility and mobility, and enhance emergency evacuation, while avoiding and minimizing environmental impacts. The Turnpike is currently a 4-lane divided roadway with 2 travel lanes in the northbound and southbound direction. The US 192 interchange is currently a partial interchange with only a northbound off-ramp. The existing Kissimmee Park Road interchange is a partial interchange that only provides northbound on and southbound off movements. There is no access to and from the south. Operational issues occur during both the AM and PM peak hours when traveling through the study area. The intersections along Kissimmee Park Road from the Turnpike ramps to Old Canoe Creek Road are closely spaced, contributing to the ongoing operational issues and a high incidence of rear-end crashes. The steep vertical grade of the Kissimmee Park Road interchange and lack of capacity on Old Canoe Creek Road also contributes to the problems with operational and safety issues. Forecasts show a significant increase in delay at the study area intersections between 2018 to 2045 under no-build conditions, meaning if nothing is done to mitigate existing congestion. Projections indicate that the population of Osceola County is expected to grow 74% and employment 180% between 2015 and 2040. A portion of this growth is due to several planned developments in the vicinity of the study area, including Bellatara, the Edgewater Development of Regional Impact, and the Tahokwa subdivision. In order to identify a preferred alternative, we first developed and evaluated multiple project alternatives, including some that improve the existing Kissimmee Park Road interchange. Engineering and environmental evaluations were performed, and local agency and public input were solicited. The preferred project alternative is the one that best meets the project purpose and need. The preferred alternative of this PD&E study relocates the existing Kissimmee Park Road interchange approximately a half-mile north to connect with an extension of Nolte Road. The ramps at the existing Kissimmee Park Road interchange will be removed, but the overpass will remain in place. Relocating the interchange movements from Kissimmee Park Road to Nolte Road will allow for a full interchange with the Turnpike, accommodating all movements to and from the north and south. It will also provide a direct connection to Nolte Road, a major east-west corridor in Osceola County. The advantages of relocating the existing Kissimmee Park Road interchange to Nolte Road include increasing the distance between Old Canoe Creek Road and the Turnpike ramps, providing additional space for turn lanes and signal cues, reducing turning movements at the Kissimmee Park Road intersection with Old Canoe Creek Road. The proposed interchange configuration for the Nolte Road interchange is a diverging diamond interchange, or DDI, a relatively new configuration in the state of Florida. These types of interchanges have recently increased in popularity as they have shown an increase in operations with a reduced footprint as compared to other types of interchanges. They also enhance safety and reduce risk of collisions associated with movements through the interchange. The DDI has already been implemented in other parts of the state, including Sarasota and Viera. Many others are currently under design as well. The DDI interchange shown here allows the eastbound and westbound traffic to temporarily cross to the left side of the road. The intent of shifting these movements is to increase traffic flow through an interchange without increasing the number of traffic signals. In the case of traffic on Nolte Road entering the DDI from the west, traffic would enter the signalized intersection and cross over to the left to drive on the left side of the bridge. This traffic then proceeds to the next signalized intersection, where traffic crosses back to the right side of the road and resumes a normal travel pattern. Both the left turn movement to proceed northbound on the Turnpike and the right turn movement to proceed southbound on the Turnpike are free flow movements, not having to worry about opposing traffic. Similarly, traffic entering the DDI from the east crosses over to the left to drive on the left side of the bridge. This traffic then proceeds to the next signalized intersection, where traffic crosses back to the right side of the road and resumes a normal travel pattern. Once again, the left turn movement to proceed southbound on the Turnpike and the right turn movement to proceed northbound on the Turnpike are free flow movements, not having to worry about opposing traffic. At the next signalized intersection, traffic crosses back to the right side of the road and resumes a normal travel pattern. Traffic entering the DDI from the north stays in the left turn lanes to make the left turn movement and the right turn lane to make a right turn movement. This is the same for traffic entering the DDI from the south. Traffic stays in the left turn lanes to make the left turn movement and right turn lane to make the right turn movement. In both instances, for traffic entering the DDI from the north or the south, there is no need to cross opposing traffic to make these left turn and right turn movements. Pedestrians and bicyclists will be accommodated by a 12-foot multi-use trail along the south side of the Nolte Road extension, but crossing in the median through the interchange. Similar to the vehicular movements, pedestrians and bicyclists cross opposing traffic at the signalized intersections. They are protected by concrete barriers from any traffic when crossing over the bridge. This layout also enhances safety for pedestrians and bicyclists, since they only need to look for oncoming traffic in one direction at each crossing location. Future traffic projections also show the need for an additional connection to the Turnpike, south of Kissimmee Park Road. This additional Turnpike connection will be located approximately half a mile south of Kissimmee Park Road and will be configured as a partial interchange between the Turnpike and Old Canoe Creek Road. This interchange will include a southbound off-ramp and a northbound on-ramp only. At the US 192 interchange, a southbound on-ramp will be added as close to the Turnpike main line as possible and within existing FDOT right-of-way. A northbound on-ramp and southbound off-ramp will be constructed under a separate project, which is currently in design. The additional ramps will convert the partial interchange into a full interchange, completing the interchange movements at the US 192 interchange. The Turnpike main line will be widened from the existing 4 travel lanes to 8 travel lanes, 4 in each direction. The widening will occur both to the inside and outside of the existing lanes. Access modifications will occur with the preferred alternative. This will include removing the existing on and off ramps at the existing Kissimmee Park Road interchange. The overpass will remain in place. Access modifications will occur along Old Canoe Creek Road in the area of the new partial interchange. This includes constructing a median from south of Zion Drive to north of Settlers Trail. Both Zion Drive and Settlers Trail will be full median openings and will allow for U-turns. There will also be access modifications along Old Canoe Creek Road, just north of the Nolte Road intersection. The personal mini storage driveways will be restricted to right in and right out access. Northbound left turns into the driveways will be restricted. U-turns would be made at the Nolte Road and King Oak Lane intersections. Access modifications will occur along Nolte Road. The Woodland Terrace driveway will be restricted to right in and right out access. Westbound left turns into Woodland Terrace will be restricted. The existing full median opening at the Solaris Healthcare Osceola and Summit Crestwood apartment driveways will be converted to a directional median opening. Left turns into Solaris Healthcare will be allowed, but left turns into Summit Crestwood apartments will be restricted. Left turns out of both driveways will be restricted. U-turns would be made at the Nolte Road and Pine Chase Circle intersections. In summary, the preferred alternative includes the following: realignment and extension of Nolte Road west to a new interchange with the Turnpike, removing the ramps at the existing Kissimmee Park Road interchange, widening the Turnpike main line from 4 to 8 travel lanes, constructing a southbound on-ramp at the existing US 192 partial interchange, constructing a partial interchange between Turnpike and Old Canoe Creek Road, and access modifications along Old Canoe Creek Road and Nolte Road. The no-build alternative will also be considered. This alternative examines what happens if the Turnpike widening and Nolte Road interchange project is not built. Advantages include: there are no impacts to the social, physical, or natural environment, and no additional right-of-way required. Disadvantages include increased congestion, slower emergency evacuation and response times, no access to and from the south at the Kissimmee Park Road interchange, and future growth in this area would not be accommodated. Analysis shows an overall reduction in study area travel time and delay with the build alternative versus the no-build alternative. This will result in reduced congestion, reduced potential for crashes, and lower emissions with the build alternative. The preferred alternative was evaluated in detail to analyze potential effects to the social, cultural, natural, and physical environment in accordance with state and federal regulations. These evaluations are documented in the State Environmental Impact Report, or SEIR, which is available for public review. The evaluation matrix shown here summarizes the evaluation results of the preferred alternative. It is also available for review on the project website. One of the unavoidable consequences on a project such as this is the necessary right-of-way acquisition and relocations. On this project, we anticipate the relocation of 3 commercial sites and 14 potential residential parcel relocations. All right-of-way acquisition will be conducted in accordance with the Florida Statute 339.09 and the Federal Uniform Relocation Assistance and Real Property Acquisition Policies Act of 1970, commonly known as the Uniform Act. If you are required to make any type of move as a result of a Department of Transportation project, you can expect to be treated in a fair and helpful manner and in compliance with the Uniform Relocation Assistance Act. If a move is required, you will be contacted by an appraiser who will inspect your property. We encourage you to be present during the inspection and provide information about the value of your property. You may also be eligible for relocation advisory services and payment benefits. If you are being moved and you are unsatisfied with the department's determination of your eligibility for payment or the amount of that payment, you may appeal that determination. You will be promptly furnished necessary forms and notified of the procedures to be followed in making that appeal. A special word of caution. If you move before you receive notification of the relocation benefits that you might be entitled to, your benefits may be jeopardized. We encourage you to call the Turnpike project manager if you have any questions regarding right-of-way acquisition and relocation. The proposed improvements will potentially affect an estimated 71 acres of wetlands and 2 acres of surface waters. The impacted wetlands are located within or adjacent to the existing roadway right-of-way and were previously disturbed by commercial and residential development, roadway construction, maintenance activities, and the invasion of nuisance and exotic species. The FDOT will mitigate wetland impacts resulting from this project's construction to meet state and federal requirements. Federal and/or state-listed species may be present or utilize areas within the proposed project, but no impacts are anticipated. Florida's Turnpike Enterprise will continue coordinating with the United States Fish and Wildlife Service and the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission regarding these species. Minimal encroachments into designated floodplains are anticipated. A net improvement in floodplain storage will be realized with the removal of the Kissimmee Park Road interchange ramps. Therefore, there is no significant change in flood risk as a result of the proposed widening, and minimal impacts are expected to the 100-year floodplain. Results of the contamination screening showed that 4 sites ranked medium risk could be potentially impacted by the preferred alternative. These sites will be further evaluated during the design phase to identify options to avoid, minimize, or mitigate contamination involvement. A noise study was conducted in accordance with state and federal regulations to evaluate traffic noise levels for the proposed improvements. Residences in Tika Village, residences along Betsy Ross Lane, the Neptune Elementary School playground, and the Neptune Middle School sports field are impacted locations where noise walls were determined to be potentially feasible and reasonable. These locations will be reevaluated for potential noise barriers during the design phase. We encourage you to call the Turnpike project manager if you have any questions regarding potential noise wall locations. The total project cost for the preferred alternative is $193 million in 2020 present-day cost. Included in this estimated cost are design, right-of-way, construction, and other services. We continue to encourage public input to help us make this important decision. You can submit written comments at the project website, turnpikestcloud.com. If at the in-person location, you can complete a printed comment form. You can email the project manager directly. For the benefit of our listen-only participants, the project manager's contact information is Jaslyn Haywood, JAZLYNHEYWOOD at Florida's Turnpike Enterprise, P.O. Box 613069, Ocoee, Florida 34761. Her telephone number, 407-264-3298. While written comments and questions are accepted at any time, they must be received no later than November 30, 2020 to become part of the public hearing record. The next step is to incorporate your input on this public hearing into our decision-making process. The comment period will close on November 30th, and your input will be considered. The final PD&E document will then be provided to the District Secretary of Florida's Turnpike Enterprise for approval. The PD&E study was initiated in the summer of 2018 and is expected to be complete in February of 2021. Future project phases of the preferred alternative include design, right-of-way, construction, and maintenance. This project has and will continue to comply with all applicable state and federal rules and regulations. This concludes the presentation. We appreciate your interest in this PD&E study. Anyone desiring to make a verbal statement regarding the location, conceptual design, or social, economic, and environmental effects of the improvements will now have an opportunity to do so.
Before we begin, we would like to invite all participants to complete an exit survey to provide feedback on how this public hearing was conducted. If you join us online, you will be prompted to take the survey when you leave the webinar. If you joined us in person, the exit survey is printed on the back of the comment form. Thank you in advance for your feedback. We will now begin the public comment period. Please note that we will not respond to your comments and questions today, but will respond in writing at a later date. As a reminder, you can provide verbal comments in one of four ways. First, virtually or online if you requested to speak when you registered. Second, if attending in person, please complete a request to speak card. There is still time to do so. Third, directly to a court reporter at the in-person location. And lastly, you can call me at 407-264-3298 during normal business hours after the public hearing to provide your verbal comments. We will now call upon our online participants who requested to speak at registration. When you are muted by the organizer, please also make sure to unmute your microphone using the GoToWebinar control panel as shown on this slide. If the microphone icon is orange, that means you need to unmute yourself, and if it's green, that means you're ready to comment. State your name and address. If you represent an organization, municipality, or other public body, please provide that information as well. And also, we ask that you limit your comments to 3 minutes. So the first person that we're going to call is Darrell Gibson, and next will be Jackson Hurst. So Darrell Gibson is our first speaker. Jackson Hurst, and after that will be Lynn McConnell. So Jackson Hurst, please.
My name is Jackson Hurst. I live at 4216 Cornell Crossing, Kennesaw, Georgia, 30144. And my comment regarding the Florida Turnpike PD&E study from south of Kissimmee Park Road, US 192. I really love that with the new Nolte Road interchange, it's going to be a diverging diamond interchange design, which will eliminate cross-traffic accidents and sideswipe crashes, especially with cars and trucks coming off the Florida Turnpike and turning left onto Nolte Road to go towards interior Osceola County. And I also love that the Florida Turnpike Enterprise is going to be widening the Florida Turnpike to allow 8 lanes in each direction. And the reason is I believe that with you widening the turnpike to 8 lanes, it will allow for, in the future, Florida Turnpike Enterprise to incorporate express lanes onto the Florida Turnpike.
Thank you for your comment. Next will be Lynn McConnell, followed by Ronald Bartfay. So Lynn McConnell is next. Ms. McConnell, if you look at the, you're gonna have to unmute yourself. If that microphone icon is still orange, we've unmuted you. Please mute. Please unmute your device. There you go. You're good now. Ms. McConnell, we can't hear you as yet, but your microphone is showing green, so we should be able to. So we're going to come back to you. We're going to come back to Ms. McConnell. Next is Ronald Bartfay, followed by Danielle Slatterprice. Right now it's Ronald Bartfay. You're good. We can hear you. Mr. Bartfay, we should be able to hear you. Mr. Bartford, we're going to come back to you. We heard something in the beginning, but we're not hearing your comments. So we're going to come back. Next is Danielle Slatterprice, followed by Mike Flowers. Up is Danielle Slatterprice. Not online. Moving on to Mike Flowers. After Mike Flowers will be Mildred Rivera. Mike Flowers.
Good evening, Michael Flowers. My address is 19597 North Florida Avenue, Lutz, Florida. We represent the property owner that is adjacent to 7-Eleven, which is a charter school that's currently under construction. And my question would be, what is the status of funding for the construction of the project? And what is the estimated timeline for right-of-way acquisition in the area of Nolte Road, east of Old Canoe Creek Road, and also for the additional right-of-way appears to be required on Old Canoe Creek Road to the east. And then lastly, what is planned? The current plans do not show the charter school development, which is under construction and about ready to open, and it has access on Nolte Road. In my prior meetings at your first event there in St. Cloud, we had some discussions and requests about what the access would be off of Old Canoe Creek Road, and that's not shown on the exhibit. So I'd like to know what you guys plan for that.
Thank you for your comment. Next will be Mildred Rivera, followed by Tammy Newman. Up is Mildred Rivera. Not online. We're going to move to Tammy Newman, followed by Yajira Saldivar. Up is Tammy Newman.
Yeah, I spoke with Don earlier. I'm okay for today. I'm just concerned being here in Tika Village, and I'm at 2546 Long Pine Lane over here in St. Cloud. And I was just concerned with the noise control and putting up the noise wall so that we don't have any more noise than we already have from the highway, from all the cars going by. Because since they did the reduction of the shrubbery, the noise volume has gotten louder.
Thank you for your comment. Next is Yajiri Saldivar, followed by Sean Hindle. Not online. Sean Hindle.
Yeah, this is Sean Hindle, Hansel Walton Associates. Reside at 8 Broadway, Kissimmee, Florida. And I had a couple observations or questions. The half interchange south of Kissimmee Park Road, is that going to be built with the project, or is that going to be a future improvement? The divergent interchange is an excellent approach to the traffic in this area. But there are major utilities located at Nolte and Canoe Creek Road. And I wanted to know if there was going to be any utility improvements to bring the water from the west side of the Turnpike east to tie into Nolte Road, and vice versa, the reuse in the the force main that's at Nolte Road, would that be brought across the interchange to the west side for servicing of future development? That's my major concerns at this time.
Thank you for your comment. We're going to circle back to Darrell Gibson, Lynn McConnell, and Ronald Bartfay, starting first with Darrell Gibson. You are self-muted. So if you can click on the orange microphone icon, and it will turn green, and that will allow you to comment.
Yes, at this time, I have no question.
Thank you for your comment. Next is Lynn McConnell.
Yes, I'm a resident of the village, and we seem to be impacted more so than any other area. I live at 2491 Independence Lane, and it looks like you're going to leave the wooded area, which will help on the noise. But will we lose any of our homes in this?
Thank you for your comment. Ronald Bartfay. Sorry, Bartfay is next.
Hello? Do you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can.
My name is Ron Bartfy. I live at 4415 Brave Lane, Tika Village. And in everything I seen and heard today, I didn't hear anything about the drainage for Tika Village's wetlands or their two lakes that drain into the Turnpike area also. And I'm very concerned about that because if the drainage isn't done, we're going to have a problem here. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Let me see if we have any more online participants. Daniel Slaughter Price, not online. Mildred Rivera, no. And lastly, Yajira Saldivar, no. We will now call upon the in-person participants who have requested to speak, if there are any. Don, let me please confirm that they are.
Give the speaker. Okay.
That is the case. Please come to the microphone when your name is called and state your name and address. If you represent an organization, municipality, or public body, please provide that information as well. We ask that you limit your comment to 3 minutes, and please keep in mind that we will be responding to all comments in writing at a later date. Don, handing it over to you.
Okay, thank you. So we do have a speaker card. Ron Aljori, please come forward, give us your name and address and your comment.
Thank you. My name is Ronald Aljuri. I live at 2491 Long Pine Lane in St. Cloud. Don addressed some of our concerns before. Being adjacent to the land that's going to be affected, one of the things is about pollution. My concerns are pollution, property value, noise, and fiber. And most of those concerns Don's addressed. But my biggest concern, more than anything else, is the pollution. And I heard today that there would be less because of less congestion. The issue for me would be a particulate matter coming off of the highway, and as the tree line would be reduced, that particulate matter, if a wall is not built, based on what we spoke about earlier, that a wall would come down to a vote by Tika Village residents if all the study results come in. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else have a comment card that they did not turn in? Okay, that's it, Jaslyn, on this side.
With that, we would like to close out the public hearing. As a reminder, all participants are invited to complete an exit survey to provide feedback on how this public hearing was conducted. If you join us online, you will be prompted to take the survey when you leave the webinar. If you join us in person, the exit survey is printed on the back of the comment form. Thank you in advance for your feedback. The verbatim transcript of this hearing's oral proceedings, together with all written material received as part of the hearing record, and all studies, displays, and informational material provided at the hearing will be made part of the project's decision-making process and will be available at Turnpike headquarters for public review upon request. Thank you for attending this public hearing and for providing your input on this project. It is now, can someone help me with the time? 6:42. I hereby officially close the public hearing for the Turnpike widening from Kissimmee Park Road to US 192 PD&E study. Again, thank you for attending and have a good evening.